Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
And that's coming. No. When do we start?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the show.
Ha-ha!
Why ha-ha?
I don't know, just ha-ha!
They're back. Or we're back.
They're back too, hopefully,
Who
the listener.
Who the hell is back?
Everyone's back.
What do we
Backstreet's back.
Oh,
Guess
no.
who's back? Shady's back.
What we got going on this week? Comics news. This week in comics, or pop culture news, really. This week in comics history. Sports, a movie, and your questions.
Yeah. Do people have questions this week?
Yeah, I wrote one down.
Oh, okay. Oh, you wrote one down, but it doesn't mean that, like...
Well, I wrote one down, I mean we have physical handwritten notes.
Oh, good for you.
I realize when it says I wrote one down, it makes it like I came up with the question.
Yeah, that's why you, like, the way you said it made it sound like you came up with it.
No, I wrote it down as in we work off of a sheet of paper.
We do. I work off of my mental notes.
Let's start off by plugging our 200th episode is coming up, so we need, speaking of your questions, we need your questions for the 200th. For the 100th, we answered a bunch of them. For the 200th, I want to do kind of the same thing, so write them in.
200 episodes.
You were there for most of them.
I would like 98% of them. Pretty good percentage of the shows.
You missed like 3 or 4.
Whatever. It's still a good percentage.
I guess other things at this point, if you caught last week's episode, you know the store is closing. So 1, thank you for all the kind words I've been getting. 2, it takes the same amount of effort to write an iTunes review, so come on. Let's take that energy and put it there.
How about some kind words for me for having to put up with Zach for 198 of the 200 episodes?
But in all seriousness, thank you for the things people have been saying. I do want to do some clarification, though, because
yeah?
Speculation was running rampant.
Well, that's what happens when you have a big life moment like this. The internet takes it and runs wild with it. Makes it kind of their own thing.
Well, one of the things I realized is I didn't actually talk about it for all that long. Give it a couple of minutes. But I think we spent more time talking about old-timey porn than we did the actual store closing.
No, I think we spent equivalent time. Both were pressing issues.
Because a lot of the stuff I saw was like, why is this happening? Oh, man, I wonder what the straw was that broke the camel's back. And a lot of stuff like that.
It was the old-timey porn, wasn't it?
I actually have a bunch of random porno comics. I just don't know what to do with them, so they're just in the back.
Well, everything must go.
I guess. If you want some weird old porno comics, I got them. If you want, like, what if Andy Dick the comic strip was a porno, or what if Archie was a porno, I got them. I just don't know what to do with them. Do I still have that Archie one? I might have sold
Why
that.
did you order them in the first place?
I didn't order them. They just came in collections that I bought.
Right.
Well, I don't know. They just stay in the back.
Archie and Veronica and Jughead. All together there in a...
That's more Betty and Veronica.
Oh, okay.
But for the sake of clarification, there was no one thing that made the store close, and this wasn't a snap decision. I mean, that's also why I gave like a month and a half notice, even though we've known for way longer. Like, conversations about doing this started 2 Novembers ago. So it's been a while.
So 2 years in the making?
No, that'd be like a year and change.
Well, you said 2 Novembers ago.
Well, because last November was only...
Oh, yeah, like a year and then some. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, this wasn't like a overnight decision.
You didn't lose a bet? You don't have like some massive gambling debt you have to pay off?
You didn't like... Yeah, this isn't
like Adam Sandler and Uncut Gems?
Looking at the numbers like, we need to close right now. No, this was a long process, a long discussion. This is why I sold that gigantic life-size Ninja Turtle last summer, because I didn't want to get stuck with that.
I think that would be a great conversation piece in your house. You missed out on that.
No, I'm glad that's gone.
I'm sure you could have sold it at some point regardless, but...
Well, I started trying early. I just got lucky that the first person I went to wanted to buy it.
Oh, so you were like cold calling people on that?
I contacted the guy that had the other 3.
That was a pretty safe bet, Zach. A pretty safe bet.
Well, they still had to give me the money I wanted.
Did you like you ever watch Pawn Stars?
No, never.
Did you I
don't do reality TV, really.
Your life is a reality TV show.
I did watch Comic Book Men.
Did you go back and forth on the price? Like,
yeah, a little bit.
A little haggling?
I don't need to go into the details, but yeah, I mean, that's why that disappeared. That's why a bunch of art disappeared. It's why I didn't do as many shows this year, because I wasn't quite sure where things were going to land.
It didn't really disappear. It was sold. There's a difference. If it just disappeared, then you had to check your security system.
You know what I mean.
I do, but I'm clarifying for the people who might not speak Zach.
Yeah, so this was not an overnight, sudden decision. This was a pretty long time coming.
Well,
Which is also why, like, some people are coming in right now and they're, like, literally walking on eggshells. They're like, how are you? I'm like, I'm fine. I've known for so long. I'm fine.
let me let people in on the pull back the curtain on Zach a little bit. He doesn't really emote.
That's also true.
He just is. He's very, he's very nonchalant. I mean, I don't know if that's the right word. You just kind of accept it and you've moved on.
I believe in the old school method of bury those feelings. Bury them.
Yes. I can't remember the last time I saw you emote or have feelings.
You just saw me being upset at basketball.
That's different. That's a different kind of emote. Like you're emoting about.
Oh, you mean sincerity?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like being vulnerable. Yeah. There was a good emote. Yeah. He just got uncomfortable.
The face I made was like, yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah. When was the last time you were vulnerable? This is turning into like a totally different show.
I don't know.
Your wedding day, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Wow.
But yeah, so just for some clarification, this wasn't an overnight kind of like split decision thing. This was planned out for a while and also kind of methodical in the way I went about it. So I don't want people to think like, what was it? Like, I don't know, a lot of things that built up over time. And then I've been in the process of coming out the other end for a while. That's a weird way to put that. Oh, well. But there we go. I don't know. Do you have anything?
No, I don't. I don't have anything at all.
Let's jump into, as we do every week, with the news.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
A little bit of spoilers here if you haven't seen it. Crisis on Infinite Earth has completed its 5-episode run after taking a few weeks off. Solid. Pretty solid.
Yeah.
Overall, yeah.
You're a fan of it? Is there a lot of fan service in that? Like
so much. That's all it is.
Oh.
Including, and I can't believe they did this, Ezra Miller's Flash showed up.
Wow.
In costume.
Was he annoying in that too?
Yeah, he kind of was.
Oh, was he making like nerdy geek jokes?
He said bro at one point. I was like, boo! You're into this for a minute. And God, you suck all the energy out of the room. It was kind of strange because they literally acknowledged in the scene that crossover shouldn't be able to happen, but it was still fun seeing like the Flash meet the Flash, which was, neat. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, look, there's the one that people like and the one that they don't.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I was still surprised they pulled it off to get a movie person in.
Yeah, I mean, well, they also brought in Brandon Routh.
But I mean, he's a regular on one of those shows.
But no, they didn't bring in mustache guy.
No, Cavill didn't show up.
Yeah, Henry, old Hank.
I was kind of reminded how much I do enjoy Brandon Routh in this role. One of the last things that they do before they introduce their version of the Justice League. I told you I'm spoiling this anyway.
Yeah,
but they do the Hall of Justice, and they all get their chairs around the table and whatnot. But one of the last things they do is they show that like things have been reset and they might be a little bit better than they were before. One of the last shots is the John Williams music kicks in, and you see Brandon Routh in not his old suit, like the Superman Returns suit, but kind of a hybrid between that and the Chris Reeves suit, with the John Williams music playing. And of course, it's the end of the story. So how do you end a Superman story? He flies into space, looks dead in the camera, gives you a smile,
and then just flies off.
Yeah, it was like, damn, that was perfect.
Da, 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 da.
Like, I would watch it. Like, screw it, I'd watch another Superman movie with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just, I don't know. I just love that old motif, and it was kind of sad that you only got to see that costume for one shot because it was a really good costume. Just that kind of hybrid, but whatever.
I think I saw a video. Yeah, the S looked a little funky. Maybe that's just me.
And, that's all I really need. I just need Superman to look dead in the camera, give me a smile, and keep on a-going.
Yes.
With John Williams playing behind him. I mean, it couldn't be more classic than it was. So that was awesome. But speaking of the Flash, the movie Flash, he just keeps making random cameo appearances. A cameo in Suicide Squad, a cameo in this, and the Justice League. They are officially moving forward with the Flash movie, and they said, yes, it is going to be a Flashpoint movie.
Ooh, I like it.
But the director said, it's probably not in the way that you think it is. And to that I say, it's probably exactly the way that I think it is.
How do you think it is?
You're going to just erase all the stuff that didn't work and keep the stuff that does and get a new Batman in there. And maybe a new Superman.
Yeah, that's a great reset button.
Yeah,
we've been talking about it on the show. Like, you need that reset button. Use it.
Yeah, so it's not what you think it is. I bet it is. I bet it's exactly what I think it is.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I can't think of how it wouldn't be.
We're keeping the good stuff. Wonder Woman stays.
Yes.
Aquaman stays.
Yes. Flash?
I guess, because if he's doing TV cameos.
Oh, yeah. Well,
because there's all those, like, he was like writing a script with Grant Morrison and he was threatening to quit otherwise. I don't know. Who the hell knows? But yeah, apparently Flashpoint's coming. But staying in that same realm of the CW show, Superman and Lois has been officially picked up. I like both of the actors they have going for this. I kind of doubt I'm going to watch it just because I fell off the other shows. But maybe. I'll give it a maybe. I'll probably check out the pilot at least if it hooks me. But I do like the guy that got playing Superman. He's kind of small. But beyond that, and I don't like, he's, muscular enough, but he's pretty short. He's a short Superman. When everyone else is taller than him, I'm like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Need some lifts in those boots.
Make him taller.
Here's one I don't know how I feel about.
What?
Noah Hawley, the guy who's going to be directing the next Star Trek movie, has hinted that it might be a new cast and going in a new direction.
So it can't be a reboot. I guess it would be a reboot, wouldn't it?
Well, it just probably wouldn't be the Enterprise, I guess.
Like Star Trek, I mean, I get that Star Trek is based around the Enterprise, but it doesn't, have to involve the Enterprise and still be Star Trek.
I like that cast, though.
It was a good cast.
And I'd be fine seeing another one, just their continuing adventures. I don't need them all to be I guess to a point, movies need to be a little bit epic. But I'd be fine with just seeing, the continuing adventures. But on the other hand, we've never really seen an original take for a movie, so that's kind of interesting too. To not be beholden to old characters or anything. I guess the answer is if it's good, but also if it's not the old cast, I'll miss it. But I don't know. I could see it going either way, but I guess the nice thing is if they do decide to do something totally new, if it's bad, they can just go back to the old cast.
Exactly. Or you could have a split timeline movie and...
I don't think we need that anymore. We have enough split timelines going on with Star Trek right now. Look, there's 2 continuities, deal with it.
The Prime line and the Vulcan line.
Speaking of Star Trek, got transitions. Got them.
Yes.
Patrick Stewart says that the reason he got back into Star Trek was because of Logan.
Wow.
But he said that he had such a good time with Hugh Jackman doing the whole one last ride thing that he wanted to do it because he's like, look, Nemesis wasn't great. So I wanted to send him off better than that.
Yeah. But it's going to be so data-centric. They've got the blue skies smiling at me.
Yes. You could have just gone with the song title, but you just chose to make it longer with a lyric.
Whatever. Can't judge.
I don't know. We'll see. There's no guarantee how many episodes he's going to be in. If he's in it. He's in it. But
he's in it.
But it's a case of, is he around? Or is he just hunting him?
I don't know. That's going to be real interesting. Is he haunting him? Is he there? Is it flashbacks? Is it memories? Is it B4?
Yeah, we're almost there. Not next week, but the week after. Or it is next week, I think, but it's just after we record. It's only a few days away.
That's right. It is.
I think it's next Thursday.
I'm so excited.
I know. Gonna have to get CBS All Access. And then, I don't know if you saw any trailers this week.
Oh, there were a couple. Yes.
It was a deluge of trailers. Deluge.
Yes.
Deluge.
A cornucopia. A veritable smorgasbord.
I guess the one that made the most waves was probably Morbius.
Yes. A surprise person at the end of that.
All kinds of surprises in there.
Yes.
One, I'm not surprised that I don't care, and it kind of looks like crap.
And Jared Leto also finding a home in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, I don't really care. The last 2 genre movies he's done were Suicide Squad and Blade Runner 2049, which is an awesome movie, but he sucks in it.
Question. Did it not just seem like a reboot of Venom?
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's the same kind of crap. What I want to see them do is instead of having him bite people's necks as a vampire, in the animated series when they did Morbius, he had to have little mouths on his hands to suck out plasma because they couldn't say blood. That's what I want to see. Little mouth hands. 5 of them.
Made me think of the Langoliers with that.
I don't know. I think it looks bland and it's from 2003.
Yeah, it does have a little bit of that 2003 quality to it, although you get Keaton at the end.
Yeah, so it's at least adjacent to the Marvel movies. You see all these things that show up. And this is just a general pet peeve of mine. Whenever I'm online and I see we can just use Morbius, Morbius trailer explained. If you end your YouTube video with explained, there's no way in hell I'm clicking on it because I hate you.
Oh, you should do it though.
Explained. Shut up.
You know how many
ending explained. How about you?
Theories on?
I don't mind that, but I hate. There's a weird condescension in explained. No. So yeah, it's tangentially connected to the Marvel stuff if we got Keaton in there as Falcon. Or not Falcon, sorry, Vulture. Mixed up my birds.
Yes. There's a lot of birds. Speaking of birds.
No, because there's still one more thing at least in
there.
there.
Okay.
But I like your attempt.
I'm trying to come up with a smoother segue.
You know what? This I didn't notice this. Other people did, so I won't take credit for it. But people did point out that this is Batman and the Joker, but they're in a Marvel movie.
Oh.
Different eras, but
Oh, okay. I was like, it took me a moment to process it, but then,
yeah.
yes, correct.
And the other thing that's weird in there, which is I'm sure everyone's screenshot on Morbius trailer explained.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever. I don't
You're
know.
real salty about that.
I don't know why I've held on to that for so long and never brought it up on the show. Have I brought it up? I don't know.
I think you have. You've had a little bit of irrational hate towards people that are making their own, helping out the lay people.
But
Explained.
Jared Leto does walk by a Sam Raimi Spider-Man poster.
Yes.
So first, when I was
So
watching,
that suit is canon.
it's something. I don't know what that means because I mean, if only someone could explain it to me. But when he was walking by it at first, I'm like, oh, this is gonna that's just an easy out. Like if it was just in the Raimi continuity, but apparently not. Apparently it's in the Marvel one. They're trying to backdoor their way in there.
Retcon, baby.
So I don't know. That was just a weird little moment.
But I like the spray paint of murderer over it, so we're gonna maybe get an idea of what's going on now. Because
That's probably coming off of Far From Home.
yes, I know that's what I was alluding to, and Mysterio being dead.
Yeah. Or is he? Probably not.
It's mysterious.
It's probably not dead.
He's a liar.
People seem to like him, so I doubt he's dead.
Oh, I mean, he was well played.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm not super excited about it. I mean, I like seeing Keaton. Keaton's always fun.
I like that we're gonna get the Vulture here.
But I'm sure he's going to be in the movie for 5 minutes, and if I'm maybe 5 minutes, and if the thing I'm excited about your movie is maybe there's a guy in it for 5 minutes, that's not a good sign. But then a trailer that does look awesome, Birds of Prey.
Yes, finally a good DC comic movie besides Wonder Woman.
I was thinking back, I'm like, Aquaman was fine.
I never saw it.
Shazam was fine.
Maybe I'll watch Aquaman tomorrow if I have a snow day.
It's totally enjoyable.
I am totally enjoyable.
But hot damn, this movie looks great.
Yeah, I mean,
We're not going to see it for the show because we're doing something else that week, but man, it looks good.
yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be a better version of what Suicide Squad wanted to be. I hope.
It's still selling that same kind of fun idea, except Suicide Squad was drab and boring. Even though the trailers tried to make it look fun. But I mean, I love the color palette in this. They definitely murdered Jared Leto's Joker in it.
Yeah, Mr. J is dead.
Yeah, he's gone.
D-E-D dead. I like the throwback to Ace Chemicals.
Yeah, he gets blowed up there.
With confetti and fireworks, too.
It's
very festive.
All the colors that are going on in this. And I mean, Margot Robbie looks to be having a great time. I could just be bananas.
Yes.
Sure, I'll be bananas.
Chewing it up and going back and forth between kind of being normal and psychotic.
I don't know. There's just everything about this movie. It looks like it's going to have weird psychedelic scenes. I mean, she huffs some cocaine and kills some people. You don't see Batman doing that, except for that time when he had Venom, but whatever.
Yes.
But I mean, wow, that movie just looks fun. I really want to see this one.
It looks good, upbeat. I'm interested to see what the soundtrack that goes along with it is.
I bet it's going to be classic songs from the 70s and 80s.
Hey, works for me.
Actually, I think the soundtrack got released. Damn it.
Now you got to look?
Yes. I thought I saw. I just didn't look at what it was.
Oh, okay.
I don't know a lot of these. But yes, the soundtrack list has been released.
Okay.
Or maybe I do know them. Maybe I just don't know them in
okay.
this form.
Interesting. So Thick by Whipped Cream and Baby Goth.
I definitely don't know that one.
It's a man's world by Black Canary. I'm going to love you.
Well,
hit me with your best shot.
Yes, I'm there
Lonely
for that
Gun.
one.
Experiment on me. Oh, wow. Interesting.
I don't know. We'll find out when the movie happens.
Cat.
But I'm looking forward to seeing it, even though we're not going to see it in theaters. Or you can. I don't care. You can do your own thing.
Yeah.
And Black Widow had a special look.
Yes.
Just called a trailer.
It was a trailer. It was 110% a trailer.
Some footage that they've shown before. It's not fully new stuff, but still, enough to whet the appetite to make me look at that movie and go, you're probably going to be fine.
Yeah. I think it's going to be good. It's not going to be great. It's going to be good.
I bet I'm going to sit down, have an enjoyable 2 hours, and not have my world rocked. But I bet it will be enjoyable.
Sounds a lot like my last date.
It lasted 2 hours.
That's a good point. Actually, I don't remember my last date. It's been a while. All by myself.
One is the loneliest number.
Yes. Hello. Is it me you're looking for?
We get a little bit more of Taskmaster. We don't know anything about the character, so it's kind of hard to
It's a
say.
vibranium shield.
Probably. We got like one couple extra hairs of David Harbour, and he's probably looks like he's going to be the show stealer.
David Harbour looks hilarious in this.
Looks like he's having more fun than he had in Hellboy.
I also think he dies.
I mean, probably this takes place between Civil War and Infinity War, so yeah.
Yeah.
I also like that the marketing material has done absolutely nothing to try and tell you when this movie takes place. I'm sure there's people out there who are just like, but she's dead. No, they're not even trying. Like, yeah, guess what?
Yeah.
This happened. And Lock and Key had its first trailer, which is out next month, so not a lot of room in between trailer and show, but whatever.
I haven't read any Lock and Key.
Yes, you did.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh.
For Halloween.
That shows how much I remember it.
It's really good.
Maybe I liked it.
I think you did.
Possibly.
Some kids' dads get murdered and they go to live with their mom and their uncle. They find keys where they go into different areas and they do different things, and maybe there's someone evil trying to get all of the keys. It was written by Stephen King's son, Joe Hill. Takes place in Massachusetts.
Yes. Okay, now I remember.
I don't even know if I believe that reaction.
No, I don't remember it. I read a lot of things around Halloween.
Yeah, Lock and Key came out, I don't know, 2008-ish, 2010, that kind of area. And they keep releasing some one-shots here. There, like one came out earlier this year. It's a pretty tight narrative. Gets in, gets out. I'm sure that for the sake of milking the show, it'll be more than one season to get that narrative out there. But this was a show where they had entirely shot a pilot, like back to front, finished it, shopped it around. No one wanted it, and Netflix just said, we have Netflix money. Do it again.
That Netflix cash, yo.
And they did it again, and it looks great.
I think there's great mysteriousness about it. There's great special effects. The trailer told a little bit of story to get you kind of sucked into what's going on.
I think it only showed like one of the keys. Or they didn't show the effect of all of them more, but like I can't wait to see what they do for like diving inside of like people's brains and removing stuff and all kinds of like the weirdness. And I'll be curious what they do for the casting. I never looked into that deep, but there's like a character that does a gender swap to hide, and I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I think Netflix is like a good platform for that.
It looks like a good horror story.
Yes.
And there's some pretty bloody moments in this book. But I don't know, Lock and Key, it's a great book. If you haven't read it, I recommend reading it, definitely, because it's great. But also, I'm definitely going to watch the show when it comes out.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm watching it by myself because my wife was sitting there just shaking her head going, not going to watch this.
I'm not going to watch it with you either.
It's fine.
You're on your own there, Chief.
But that will do it for the news. From there, we're going to move on to this.
No. There's one last item of news, and I know it pains you, but your least favorite movie from last year leads in Oscar nominations.
I didn't think it was worth bringing up.
It's certainly worth it. It's the most Oscar nominations for a comic book movie ever.
Yeah, but here's the thing. One, there's no need for me to rail on Joker again, but two, and this is, I think, a more important point, all awards are stupid and are pointless.
I mean, okay, Ricky Gervais.
It's true. Because why do I care what, especially like in the world of information that we live in? I can understand like Oscars being important 20 years ago, 30 years ago more, because information wasn't as readily available. And if the Academy comes forward and says, this is the best of the best, and then you can go off to Home Vision Video, go rent one of those movies because you hadn't seen it, because you weren't quite aware. We live in the age of the internet. None of this stuff matters.
You still have to go watch. Maybe people want to go watch the movie. I mean, you're leaning on someone else's opinion.
Yeah, but
you mean to tell me people wouldn't watch like Siskel and Ebert or or sneak previews of what it was called before that and be like, they like that, they don't like that. It's the same thing as the internet, but the internet just allows everyone to have an opinion and share that opinion.
Yeah, but you can find out everything that came out this year. And awards are pointless. They don't. And why do I care what gets what? It's not like I have a horse in the race. I didn't make the movies.
I think
and my opinion on what wins will not be affected by it. And also, the Oscars are boring. I'm not going to watch.
I know you're not going to watch, but we're still going to talk about it.
I tried not to.
Well, too bad.
Because I didn't care.
Well, I did.
Because awards.
Because I wanted to rub your slitty little nose in it.
The Joker is still a terrible movie. I don't care how many nominations it gets.
I hope it wins Best Picture.
My opinion.
I hope it wins Best Picture, just to piss you off.
It's also fine if it does, because every award is stupid.
But it'd be the first comic book based movie to win Best Picture.
Doesn't matter.
I think that's a big deal.
No.
You're just saying that because it's Joker.
No, it's people like to blow these things out of proportion.
You're just saying that because it's Joker.
No, I think all awards are stupid.
All right, whatever. So
ask me my opinion on the daytime Emmys. Don't care.
Well, I mean, that's different. Those are stupid. I don't give two shits about Days of Our Lives. General Hospital can pound sand.
But from there, we're going to move on to this week in comics history.
Superhero landing coming up.
This week in comics history.
Oh, and what a week it was. In 1929, we're going way back. We're not only going way back, we're going way away from America. Because although comic books are an American art form, there are things that happened outside the U.S.
What?
Yeah, I know. In 1929, The Adventures of Tintin began publication in newspaper strips.
Oh.
Much to the joy of French readers, it's still getting printed. It's still going around.
Not as good as I almost said Anthrax, but it was
It's better than Anthrax.
Anthrax. Is that it?
Emily, who's the French comic that's been around forever, like the little Viking guy? Who? Oh, Asterix. Aha.
So not Anthrax.
Not Anthrax.
Thank you.
The poisonous chemical or the band.
I'm gonna go with the band on that.
Did you know there was a band named Anthrax?
I did.
All right, good for you.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you're into
Scott
your
Ian
80s
was
punk.
Scott Ian's in Anthrax. He has the long goatee.
All right, there you go.
See? So you know what? Screw you.
Well, speaking of screwing you, in 1930,
Yes.
after appearing in 13 films, Mickey Mouse first appeared in newspapers in the Mickey Mouse comic strip.
Wow.
It's a lot of comic strip news this week. Old-timey comic strips.
To go with the old timey porn.
No,
Oh.
this is different. In 1964, speaking of her trailer, Black Widow first appeared in an Iron Man story in Tales of Suspense number 52 as a villain, and her costume looks stupid. It did.
Okay, I'm gonna take your word for it.
They changed it. In 1966, television forever was changed. Batman was saved from cancellation as Adam West and Burt Ward put on their tights and ran out into the Batman 66 TV series. Close enough.
Oh yeah,
Legally different than we can't get sued.
exactly. I did that on purpose.
First 2 years are a lot of fun, as so many shows, when their budget is drastically cut, got way worse in the third season. It's kind of the Star Trek effect. By the time year 3 rolls around and they're out of money, it gets bad.
Yeah.
In 1971, a character we're going to be seeing a lot of pretty soon, already been seeing him a bit more in comics recently, but coming to the big screen, scot-free, Mr. Miracle himself appeared in Mr. Miracle number 1 in 1971, written and drawn by Jack Kirby, part of his Fourth World books.
What did I just recently read with Mr. Miracle? Was it the Fantastic Four Christmas Party?
I mean, they have the Miracle Man.
Oh, it's Miracle Man. That was when.
Mr. Miracle's an escape artist.
Oh, Miracle Man. Oh, yeah, he's the one who made a human life.
Miracle Man is green and he can do anything.
Yeah, that was the one.
Oh, no, you're thinking of, was it Molecule Man?
No, I think it was Miracle Man. The one that, like, the thing goes out to, like, this Indian reservation.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was Miracle Man.
Oh, what's the little green guy's name? I'm mixing him up.
Martian Manhunter?
Different little green guy.
E.T. Oh, he's brown. Telling you, it was Miracle Man.
Yeah, that is Miracle Man. I'm thinking, what's the green alien's name? It's going to bug me until I figure it out. The Impossible Man. That's what I was trying to think of.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
mixing all my things up. But yeah, Mr. Miracle is an escape artist. And of the 4 New Gods books, or the 4 Fourth World books that Kirby was doing, this was probably the best one. It was either this or New Gods. Flip a coin. Forever People was fine. Superman Spell, Jimmy Olsen was kind of crap.
Yes.
You're like, yeah, I read it too.
I have fond memories of it.
This is just a weird one. This is why I wrote it down. Mystique, famed X-Men villain, made her first appearance in Miss Marvel number 16 in 1978.
Okay.
No one knows how many sneezes I just had to suffer through because I cut them all out, but it was forever.
It was 3.
Forever.
3. And you didn't have to suffer through shit. I didn't sneeze on you or at you. I covered my mouth up like a human being. Went to the elbow. I dabbed it.
Yeah, no, that's the Dracula.
Okay, whatever. Cool kids call it the dab.
No. And then finally, in 1988, Venom made his first full appearance in Amazing Spider-Man number 300. That classic cover. This is a classic cover. There was one time I bought a collection off of someone, and it just had a stack of unread Amazing Spider-Man 300s, and I had a good week.
I found money.
I did.
Where's some of that trickle-down economics for your podcast, buddy, huh?
Look, it clearly didn't sustain me.
Yeah.
But I still had a good week.
Evidently not.
And that is it for this week in comics history.
Aha.
So going from a Hawkeye to the Seahawks, it's time for Jared's Sports Reports.
He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. Bare-chested. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line.
It's time for another Jared Sports Report.
All right. Well, there's some big news in the Boston sports world. We're going to just kind of gloss over,
some firing.
Well, it was a mutual parting of ways.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
So
the
big news really from New England sports this week, I mean, the Celtics continue to Celtic and the Bruins continue to Bruin, is that penalties were handed down for this sign-stealing, videoing by the Houston Astros. Well, how does that affect the Red Sox, you ask? Well, the Astros were fined $5 million this year, next year's first and second round picks.
Oh.
And yeah, exactly. Their farm system's already loaded anyway, so whatever. Generally a slap on the wrist. Plus the GM and the manager were both given 1 year suspensions, and then they were fired. And then there was also more investigation that was happening. Alex Cora was named 11 times in a 5-page report about the Astros. He had been an assistant with the Astros, then came over the next year after the whole scandal went down, or it happened, but now the scandal had kind of gone down after the fact when they investigated it, and similar things were happening in Boston. So similar penalties probably coming toward the Red Sox. The Red Sox saw the writing on the wall and said, yeah, Alex Cora's in a lot of trouble, and we're just going to part ways with him now. So the Red Sox are in the market for a new manager. Not surprising at all.
There was a video in the Garden that he was a part of that's already been removed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, his career in baseball is probably over.
I think professional sports in general.
Yes. The other interesting thing is Pete Rose kind of weighed in on it and said, well, I got a lifetime ban for something, for allegedly cheating the game of baseball. Why aren't these people getting a lifetime ban? I mean, he bet on games, but he bet on his team as he was the manager. So, but it says explicitly in the clubhouse, no betting on baseball. Just like it was explicitly said in a memo to the teams that you should not be using video to steal signs, and yet here we are. So the Red Sox will need a new manager. A lot of people are thinking it should be Jason Varitek. Not sold on that completely. I mean, he has no real managerial experience.
That always goes well.
But who knows? The Red Sox, their last 3 managers in their first year, won the World Series. So who knows? Could it be 4-4-4? But they've got to make a decision, and soon, because spring training starts in like 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
I just assumed they were already 18 weeks into it because baseball is forever.
Baseball is forever.
Never ending. Big football weekend?
Yeah, it's AFC, NFC championship weekend. So in the AFC, you've got the Tennessee Titans continuing to tighten on, and they're going to go against the Kansas City Chiefs.
An upset.
Yeah, big upset. I mean, they dominated the Ravens.
6 seed taken down a 1 seed.
Yeah, they took the Ravens, nevermore. They're gone. You like that?
No, but I think people could hear my eye roll.
Yes, they could hear. I felt it. That's why Baltimore are the Ravens, by the way.
Okay.
You didn't know that?
So why is Kansas City the Chiefs?
Because they're right on the border with Kansas, and that was where one of the Native American resettlement camps was.
Okay.
I'm going to go with that.
Okay.
I'm not 100% certain. I know it was founded by Lamar Hunt, and that's who the AFC Championship trophy is named after. So that game will be in Kansas City. On the other side, you've got the 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. The Packers with a nice win at Lambeau. The Seahawks made a game of it late, but the Packers pull out victorious. So we're just a couple of weeks away from the Super Bowl. Obviously, my initial pick is not there anymore. I'm going to go...
None of them are.
No, I'm going to say it's going to be a 49ers Chiefs Super Bowl. As much as I like to see the Titans, 49ers Chiefs.
Every time Jimmy Garoppolo comes up on the TV, my wife just goes, "That's an attractive man." Like, I'm aware. He has good bone structure.
Yeah, Jimmy is Jimmy G. Wow.
Literally every time he's on television.
And then I'll throw a little Patriots news out there, calm people down. So Tom Brady cleaned out his suite at Gillette Stadium. He had a suite, and people are like, it's been cleaned out like it never has before. So what? And he moved to his house in Connecticut. He got a new house. He can live in Connecticut. It's not the Massachusetts Patriots. It's the New England Patriots. And it's not like Connecticut's that far away from Gillette Stadium.
You sound like someone whose girlfriend is going to college, like, just a couple of states away. It's not that far. We can make it work.
It's still in friggin' New England. Connecticut is in New England.
You haven't found your land of denial?
Listen, he's not going anywhere. And if he does, he does. What?
I don't know. I mean, who the hell knows if he still has it in him to...
Oh, he's playing another year.
Oh, no, he'll play, but just if he can be championship caliber.
I don't
guess
think there's
depending
any place else he could except for there.
But I mean, if you build up a solid team around him,
Yeah, agreed. They can spend some money. Again, depends on what they get for a contract out of him, and he's got a lot of leverage.
NBA. Big news of the week is Zion Williamson is coming back next week.
Yes, I saw that.
So he'll be able to play a maximum of, I think it's 35 games, but still, it'd be fun to actually see him play. Kemba Walker got ejected from his first game in his career.
Attaboy, Kemba. Attaboy.
I'm no lip reader, but I could tell those words. It was really funny when it was happening. Mike Gorman, who does all of the Celtics broadcasts, he's like, and the ref's name is Evan Scott. First year ref, Evan Scott. And his address is the following.
If you're looking for a place to deposit some bricks.
Oh, that poor, he made the call a little fast, I think, but I don't think he's ever had that many people scream obscenities in him at unison before.
Yeah, it's Boston.
He wasn't ready.
Could be worse.
Not a great week overall. There's a bit of a slump right now, but if you look at the overall, they still have the third best record in the NBA. And my prediction for the year, and I had a high one compared to most other people, I was saying to have them on track for 52 wins, which would be, I think it was, that'd be like a 63% win. And right now they're at like 71%, and they're halfway through the season.
Yeah.
So, they're doing better than anyone thought. So this week was a bit of a slump, but whatever.
Yeah, there's
still another half of a year.
Exactly. Plenty of time left.
Yeah. So if you want to get nitpicking, some bad stuff. No, not even bad. Some not great stuff happened this week, but on the other hand,
yes,
third best in the NBA currently.
There you go. But it doesn't matter where you are now. It matters where you finish.
I'm hoping for second.
But at the end of the season, you don't want to be number 2. You want to be the champion.
Well, yeah.
So that's what I mean, where it matters where you finish. Doesn't matter. Just get to the championship series. Take that. Smack.
Well, if things kind of stay where they are right now, like if Phillies still stays at 5th versus first or second, like people thought, that means Milwaukee and Philly will have to go up against each other before Boston gets to them. So I'm kind of hoping the standings stay where they are.
Well, they won't.
No, they won't, but they also could.
You're telling me there's a chance?
There is a chance.
What movie?
Dumb and Dumber.
Yes!
Not Dumb and Dumber
No, not that god-awful piece
or Dumb and Dumber 2.
That's not bad. All right, that's it for sports.
Okay.
Time to move on to one of your most favorite things in your whole life.
Yeah. So this year, what we are doing, last year was the year of weird crap. This is the year of things that we love unconditionally. We're going to do one of these a month, and we're going to alternate. But I thought we'd start off this month with a movie from 2005. So let's do a soundbite to intro us into this.
Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret. I'm always angry.
It's time for an Editor's Note podcast review.
We have a new soundbite?
No, it'll just be one of the review ones. We have two review ones.
Oh, okay.
We have one from the Avengers, and we have one from a X-Men Origins Wolverine special feature.
Maybe if I, listen to the show more often, I would know these things.
But yeah, this week we are talking 2005 Serenity. I love this movie.
How many times have you watched it, do you think?
I couldn't tell you.
How many times have you watched it on the big screen?
I also couldn't tell you. Because not only did I see it in theaters a bunch, then there were a bunch, they're still going on, but none of them have been nearby in a while. There were charity screenings for a charity called Equality Now. So I used to go see it about once a year for a while.
Yeah, like every year the same weekend.
Yeah, they used to be in Boston when I was in Jersey. They also had them in Philly, so they were close by. But it's still around, but nothing local for me to see in a while. So the answer is I don't know how many times I've seen it, and I also don't know how many times I've seen it on a big screen.
More than me.
The answer is a lot.
Yes.
For either one.
Would you say it's the most watched movie in your life? You've watched that movie more than any other movie?
There's a good chance. But I feel like there's other movies that I started when I was young, like Star Wars, that just have
Can you quote the movie all the way through? You can know what the next line is, and you can you find yourself getting ready to say the next thing.
I could. Oh yeah, I know it. I mean, could I sit down and do it right now with zero prompting? Probably not.
But once you get into the movie, you know what line.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself sometimes saying out loud right before it happens the next line?
Just watching this. I mean, I watched it to prep for this. Not that I really needed to, but I did anyway.
Yeah.
And I just have my own running commentary. I'm like, and this is a fun fact, and this is a fun fact. If you don't know the movie, as I've just been yammering for a few minutes, Serenity is the first movie written and directed by Joss Whedon. Came out in 2005. It is a sequel to the Firefly TV series, the short-lived show which people are always like, I hear it's coming back. And my response is, it already did come back.
Yeah.
We got a movie.
Yeah.
I even heard that today. So it's like, I heard it's coming back. I'm like, yeah, I've been hearing that for 15 years too.
Yeah. Would you want it to come back at this point?
Sure, why not if it's good?
All right, there you go.
If they can get everyone and get them back, yeah, sure, do it.
Even like a little six episode run.
Yeah.
What happens after the movie?
Yeah, be all about it. It was done well, but I also have no real hope of it happening because there's been so many teases for so long. Because overall, the movie underperformed. Had a budget of $39 million and it made 40.
Wow.
When you include marketing and all that stuff, not exactly a money maker.
No, but it wasn't a money loser.
No, and for a while it was floated around that the idea of a sequel was really going to be based on how well the DVD sales were. And the answer was not good enough.
Apparently, yeah.
The TV DVD sales were good enough to make a movie.
Well, it's because they killed Wash.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
Like you say, it's been out for a long time. There's no spoilers anymore.
Yeah. But man, I can throw this in anytime. It's just a little like happy place to go to for 2 hours. I mean, I saw it in theaters, and then like it had a pretty short run in theaters. The movie came out in September, and the DVD was out by December. It was not a long turnaround.
No. Now, did you get into the movie because of the TV show?
I missed the show. I mean, I must have just barely missed it because I bought the DVD. And then I watched all of that. So I think most people probably caught it that way too. So yeah, I missed the initial run.
Okay.
Also, the initial run for the show was aired out of order, and the marketing for it was so friggin' weird. You can find it on YouTube. Like the trailers for it, they would show for like, would just try and say, like, they're a wacky bunch. And they'd play like Smash Mouth's Walking on the Sun as the background track.
That doesn't fit the movie at all.
No. Well, it didn't fit the show
series,
either.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
It doesn't fit any of it.
No. It's a fine song.
Yes.
Not really good fodder for this material.
No. So I don't know if it necessarily need to be a synopsis, but why do you love it? What about it do you love? Like, tell me more. Like, I mean, I enjoy it. I don't have the same passion for it as you do. So
I mean, it's not a perfect movie. I can nitpick its flaws to death.
Yes.
Because they exist. I loved the show and I loved the continuation. I like that they made it a little bit darker and there was a little bit more of a budget in there. And that they got I love the color palette. I love the way this movie's lit.
Yeah, I mean it's a space western and it feels that way. If that kind of the brown sandy tones in it.
Depending on where you are, and there's other stuff where you'll get like these blues, or if like a character is like having an argument, like you'll see that like, oh, that one's in shadow and everyone else is in the light and all this stuff. There's a fun villain in there with Chiwetel Ejiofor as the operative.
Yes.
Just likes to stab people. It's real into stabbing.
The Reavers are a neat little...
They're creepy as hell.
Yeah. As you described them to me one time, they're space zombies, but they're not.
Yeah, essentially.
I was like, well, if they can't... They either are or they aren't.
Yeah, they do their own thing.
Yes.
You get now dramatic actress Sarah Paulson in a very small role in a hologram.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't tell who that was. But I mean, it can, for the most part, it kind of wraps up most of the questions that the show hadn't. And there's still a couple that are still unanswered to this day, but...
Does the comic book do any of that?
Some of them. Depends on what you're reading. If you're reading the Serenity ones that were previously being published by Dark Horse, they fill in between the show and the movie, and then they started kind of a trilogy that was supposed to take place after the movie, but they only got through 2 parts of that trilogy, so who the hell knows?
I don't know. The shadow knows.
There's a current series going on that I really it started off strong, but I'm kind of...
If you want to know what Zach thinks about it, be a Patreon subscriber.
Yeah, I'm kind of considering it to be not canon at this point.
All right.
The Serenity stuff, though, that's mostly fun, and mostly does a good job of filling in the gap. It's kind of funny because, like, Wash gets his death in the movie, and the whole thing about that is, like, it's sudden, and he doesn't get those dying words that you would normally see. So, of course, in the comic, he gets a big, long speech about his whole life and what he's about. I'm like, I found the death speech.
Yeah.
It just wasn't in the movie.
Did you, do you think that, like, Nate Fillion and those guys get money for those because of their character likenesses being used?
I think they probably do now. I don't know if they did at the time.
Yeah.
You can do stuff with that where I think you get some kind of cut, but I know for a while when the idea of that was still kind of fresh that a lot of people weren't. So I don't know where it stands now. You would have to ask them individually.
Well, I'll get right on that. I'll dial them all up. What do you like? I like kind of the interesting, like, it's got a little mix of like dystopian future, our galaxy, the interweaving of Mandarin with English.
Without the Asian people.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be, it's always been weird. It's supposed to be like, in like the way Earth, just like the two superpowers, like America and China kind of ended up coming together and building like this one kind of hodgepodge melting pot culture. So we see all these people, like, they'll say a couple of things in Mandarin, or they'll be like, maybe they're going to eat with chopsticks or something. You'll see these Chinese influences, except for the Asian people. There's kind of none of them.
Yeah.
So that's weird.
A little bit. What's your favorite line from the movie?
Boy. Favorite line. I don't know. I can tell you the line that always gets the biggest laugh whenever I've seen this in theater. Kaylee always gets the biggest laughs. It's usually like, it's like, do you mean to say is sex? Like, I mean to say, she looks, hell with this, I'm going to live. That always gets the biggest laugh in the theater.
That's a good point. I like that. I like the I am to misbehave line.
That's a fun one, but I feel like it's been repurposed so many times. I'm kind of sick of it in its own way.
It's like,
because it is a cool line.
It is a cool line. Got Adam Baldwin in it.
Yeah.
Animal mother.
Yeah. Boy, he's jacked.
Yes.
Just rubbing his arms down with baby oil in between takes, because boy, he's big.
Well, I mean, I wish I were that. Like, if I were that large, I would be rubbing baby oil all over myself. Glisten.
He has my favorite kind of like fun fact from the movies comes in with him. So he has 2 stunt doubles.
Okay.
And one of them has a prosthetic leg.
Wow.
So there's this scene early on in the movie where he gets shot through the leg with a harpoon, and that's real because his stunt double has a prosthetic leg.
Wow.
So yeah, isn't that fun?
That's kind of a cool fact.
That's a fun fact.
That's a great fact.
So they just literally shot him through his, prosthetic leg, and then pulled him off the thing. Yeah, so that's a cool little.
So I would imagine, like, if you had a list of, like, if you could have 5 movies on a deserted island, this would be one of them.
Yeah, definitely. It's the only kind of downside, because I have, I've read so many books and articles, like when it came out, like I was just snatching up everything. I remember there was
You have a tattoo.
Yeah, I do. It was my first tattoo on my 18th birthday.
And what was it again? It's just a symbol.
It just says Serenity.
Oh, okay.
Which is funny because it's like, because I know like so many like people get like douchebag like Chinese tattoos, like this is my philosophy. I'm like, no, I just like a movie.
Yeah, Chinese character.
I don't have any philosophy.
Zach, do you believe in? Oh, your arm says Serenity. You must be at peace with yourself. No, I'm not.
I just like the movie.
I am far from it. I don't even emote.
But man, I could sit down and watch that thing any day of the week. I love just the action, the interactions. There's some great long takes of that. I love the introduction of the ship at the beginning. It's this long oneer. They do cheat when the camera pans really fast. They go down a level. That's
kind of Star Wars influence though with that.
Oh yeah, I mean
with that shot. Except for the ship's not coming like over.
Yeah, that's a great shut. I love that.
Yeah,
yeah, that like first like kind of space shot. Yeah, you get in the Star Wars movie. Yeah,
you pan down. You have the planet. You have the little ship. The little Alderaan cruiser, and then you got the big Star Destroyer. Like, that's an iconic, but you get similar reveal of the ship in Serenity.
Some of it doesn't work. The chase scene, some of the effects, and a couple of the shots are clearly like, okay. Great.
We're trying to survive here, trying to make it happen.
Look at that! Like, go run into that CGI rock. Good, it shot back and hit their CGI ship, and there's a couple of wonky things in there like that. And a couple of scenes, or you can feel that they're a little rushed or they were cut down in editing.
Yeah, but overall,
yeah, like
it's solid.
I'll be damned to say like a perfect movie does not exist.
No, you can get nitpicky, but it's okay to like if your favorite thing has flaws, it gives it some character, it gives it, little bits of I don't know, makes it special.
Yeah, the show is great. But I mean, there was even a bit of stuff in there where they kind of had to tone it back basically immediately from kind of a darker tone. So I liked that the movie was able to get back. Although the movie gets kind of like very dark. They kill Glenn from It's Always Sunny very early.
Yeah, there's a lot of death in this movie.
Yeah, Mal shoots 3 unarmed men in this.
Yeah. Well,
he kills 2 of them.
Bang, bang.
He really should have gone for that headshot, though, with the operative.
Yeah, probably.
That would have been a problem.
You should have aimed for the head.
Yeah, he should have. Would have stopped that whole fight.
Tale as old as time, when in doubt. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you're going to recommend this for people who have never seen it to do it.
Yeah, and you can. This also acts. They give enough of an intro in the beginning that it acts as a standalone.
Yeah, I've never seen Firefly, but I watched the movie and it stands alone.
I was gonna say, I think actually my favorite line might be when Mal sits down to like fake praise, like dear Please bring me a pony and a plastic rocket.
Oh, yes.
That's a good line.
That's a very good.
One, it's also kind of annoying now because there was a Matthew McConaughey movie that came out last year called Serenity. I'm like, come on, guys.
No. Yeah, exactly.
So that's annoying. But this movie also exists in this kind of weird spot of the internet where kind of right before YouTube was a thing and people were doing deep dives backwards. You're not going to find a lot of people who have done a ton of stuff on this movie online, which I think is kind of interesting. It kind of exists in this nebulous world right before YouTube exploded.
Would you say it's a true cult movie?
I suppose.
It's
not
gained a cult following.
I think it's a little bit bigger than a cult movie.
You
but
just don't want to be in a cult.
No, because I think of cult movies as something weird and obscure from the 70s.
Like Rocky Horror Picture Show?
That's not even a cult movie because that's a little too big.
Yeah, okay.
When I think of cult movies, I think of weird, deep B cuts. People saw this and they're aware of it, and most people are aware of the show.
All right, which was on Fox, and that was during a run of when Fox canceled shows way too early.
Yeah,
which was a great Family Guy inside joke.
Yes, yeah. When they came back, it's a 2-minute bit of listing every show that was canceled in between.
I remember watching that episode for the first time, and you were there, and oh, they mentioned it. You were so excited.
It was on Netflix. I don't know if it is anymore or not because
you own it.
I've owned many copies of this over the years.
If they came out with a new copy with some new features and stuff, would you buy it?
If it had something new on it, I would. They just not that long ago. I actually just sold it in the store. They did a 15th anniversary of Firefly.
Yeah.
But I don't think there were any new features on it, so I didn't care.
Oh, there you go.
You got to offer me something new. You can't just offer me a pretty package.
Oh, I can offer you a pretty package, sure.
Great.
200 episodes worth of my face.
No, the direction I thought you were going.
No, I can be mature sometimes.
I don't know. What'd you think? I'm enamoring.
I like it. It's entertaining. I like those. I like Westerns. I like science fiction. I like the amalgam of the two. The characters are fun. It's a fun story. It's just a good action movie. Again, it stands on its own. Not much more to say than that. It's a good standalone movie. I would classify it as a good popcorn movie.
If you like movies that are all about keeping the public informed and questioning government systems or any kind of established ideology,
V is for Vendetta.
I was gonna say this movie.
Oh, well, I knew you were gonna say that. I was just throwing a new one out there. The Hunger Games.
Yes.
The Giver.
Sure.
Divergent.
I don't know at this point.
It's all a bunch of dystopian. Because there is a sense of dystopianism.
Yeah. I don't know. Those are the thoughts.
Yeah, no.
Go watch the damn movie.
I like it. Zach loves it. That's all you need to know.
So from there, we're going to move on to letters to the editors.
Now for my favorite part of the show. What's that say? Talk to the audience. Oh, God, this is always dead.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
As I said before, if you want to send us a letter, and also please do for our 200th episode.
200.
Send them in at editorsnotecomics@gmail.com. All right, this week, what do we got?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the one who has it written down. Why are you asking me?
With Star Wars mixed reviews, should Disney focus more on television and less on movies?
No. I think what they should do for Star Wars, though, I think there's a recipe for success here instead of movies. These little TV serials that they're doing. It goes back to kind of the roots of Star Wars.
So you just said no, and then you agreed with it.
Oh, you mean just like general Star Wars movies?
Yeah, to walk away from the movies a little bit and just do more TV.
Yes, absolutely. It goes back to the root of what they're supposed to be. They're Saturday serials. That's what the movies were designed to be in the first place, and that's the format they took. The Mandalorian was a great success. It gave you something to look forward to every week. It kept you engaged. It was fresh. It was new. You weren't overwhelmed in one movie. It was able to be its own thing. That's why I'm excited for Kenobi. I think that's going to be a better. Solo, a Star Wars movie, wasn't bad, but I think the Kenobi one, you can explore it a little bit more. You just jammed 2 hours of Han Solo and a quick origin on him there. It just didn't do it for me. I didn't need that.
Seen it a few times now. Eventually, I'm going to remember what happened in it.
He meets Chewbacca in a mud pit. He was an Imperial soldier. He abandons them, and Darth Maul comes back at the end.
Yeah, but Jon Favreau was a monkey at one point.
Yes. I want to know more about. I kind of like them bringing in Darth Maul into that. I've always wanted to like know more. Like, okay, what are you gonna do with it? We understand in canon what happens. Maybe I don't think we need to get that in the Kenobi show, but yeah, I think little 6 to 8 episode TV seasons, even just like one-off 8 episode TV shows, perfect.
I want it all to go away for a while.
Yeah, I'm not saying that we need it all the time, but like Mandalorian, great. Now we can wait a year and then or 8 months or 6 months or whatever. I'm really looking forward to Kenobi.
I know they're taking a couple of years off of Star Wars, but it's like 2 or 3. That's like the normal amount of time people take off in between movies. I'd want to take off like an ideal world, like 5 to 10 years.
I don't know if we need another Star Wars movie though. But the sagas, like, I know that people have been talking about possibly like the Knights of the Old Republic kind of stuff, like the High Republic. I don't care.
What made Star Wars fun for a lot of it is it was an event, and that event quality is definitely gone.
Yes.
I mean, Force Awakens had it. We saw that twice opening weekend because we were just excited to see it.
Yeah, it was damn good.
Because it had been a long time, and Star Wars isn't Marvel. I don't want one of them all the time. I want to have that build-up, that anticipation. I mean, the first time I saw them, and I saw the re-release in '97, that was an event, and they didn't dump them all at once. They did it over a few months span, and then when,
But you ate up the Mandalorian.
I did. I enjoyed it. But at the same time, like, I'm kind of tired of Star Wars at the moment.
But the Mandalorian was like a different version of Star Wars.
Force Awakens was great because that was a long time in between. Seeing Episode 1 was great.
Yeah.
Just, I love the event nature of Star Wars. I feel like it should feel like an event. And right now, it doesn't feel like an event. We had it a couple of years ago, but since 2015, we've gotten five movies.
Was Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, were those really events?
No.
So when you have a movie trilogy like that, it goes bang, bang, bang. Yeah, I get that. I get it with Marvel, though, because it's all one big interconnected weaving story.
Yeah, we were trained for being a serialized storytelling, though. The
other piece is we had an idea, but we didn't really know where things were going with the Marvel stuff. You knew in the prequels that it's going to end with Darth Vader. And you kind of, you didn't really 100% know where this last trilogy was going, but you could kind of figure it out.
I mean, we've had 5 Star Wars movies in 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't need that much.
No.
I'm happy to walk away so I can come back refreshed.
Exactly.
So my answer is more TV or more movies. I say none of it.
I say more TV. Tell some nice stories through TV. You don't need to make a big movie. You can do little 8-9 episode series and little runs like that. I'm all about that.
Oh, by the way, the Colin Trevorrow script for episode 9 leaked online.
Oh, really?
It did indeed.
Is that going to be a future episode where you read the treatment to me?
Maybe.
Oh.
We'll see if I can find it.
It leaked online. You should be able to find it.
I feel like it was getting pulled a bunch, though. So we'll see if I can find it. Yeah, it's an episode.
Your reaction to that, like the way you said it sounds like it wasn't good.
Well, I just did a quick scan of someone making a summary of someone else's summary, so I don't know much about it yet.
All right.
Because I figured I'd just try and read it myself.
Jump back in the comic dark webs.
Which I think is just Reddit.
Fair enough. All right. Time to wrap.
Sure. Again, write letters in for the 200th episode. Write a review for the show because, if you're already writing nice things about me, just keep it going.
Yeah. And me too. Just give me a little love. Just a little pat on the back. All right. If you enjoy the show, please go to patreon.com/editorsnotecomics. $1 a month gets you this show a whole day early. Lucky you. Plus, spoiler and spoiler-free reviews of Buffy, Angel, and Firefly. Ooh, we just talked about that. Ooh. Exciting. You can also visit Zach at 210 Water Street in Hollowell where there is a sale going on.
Yeah, everything's got to go.
But what's the sale right now?
If it's under $7, it's $1 and...
Holy smokes. You're winning.
Graphic novels, collectibles.
Are you selling the bell? Or are you going to take the bell and sell it?
I should. Just throw it at you one day.
That's cool. That's fine.
Unsuspecting. I'll go find you and just chuck it at you.
What the hell is that? Oh, cool. A bell. I'll bring it to the podcast. Any other thing other than the $7 or under, it's $1?
No, that's it for now.
That's it for now.
If you want to buy fixtures like the counter or display cases or anything like that, they're all for sale.
All right, there you go. What about the last week for pull list?
New releases are coming in through the 29th.
All right, so through the end of January. new releases. You can also visit him online, editorsnotecomics.com. He's also on the social medias.
And you have a Twitter.
At Junior Rich.
Next week, what are we doing? I don't know.
All right,
the Star Wars script really threw me through a loop. I'm like, well, I should probably do it while it's hot in people's minds. So if I can find it, it's that. But if it's not that,
it'll be something else.
It will be my original plan for the 200th episode, which is a gem of a turd I've been saving.
Oh, no.
I was waiting for the 200th, but now that we're doing Jay and Silent Bob that week,
okay,
I changed my plan.
What is it?
I don't know if I want to tell you because it's so bad.
Tell me.
It's a VHS that I had.
A VHS? Oh, shit.
Oh, this baby never made it to DVD. I'll tell you that.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe I could tease people with that. It's a very popular early to mid 90s property. It existed on VHS. I think you could only get it at Pizza Hut. But there was also a cassette tape. The cassette tape I didn't own. But I did have the VHS. Maybe it's documentary style. I wonder if that's enough hits for people to figure it out.
No, not me.
Fine, I'll just ruin it.
Okay.
It's coming up. Well, it might be next month or it might be next week.
All right.
There exists in this world a Ninja Turtles documentary, a fake documentary. They were so popular, they got to go on tour as a band. It's not just that they went on tour as a band. It's not like you're just watching a concert. They made a documentary pretending it was all real, including like producers and the actors in the terrible suits.
Like a This Is Spinal Tap, but with turtles.
The making of the Coming Out of Their Shells tour.
I'm going to be sick next weekend.
Oh, I own that bad boy on VHS, and I've been saving
Are
that
you
puppy.
proud of this? Do you even have a VHS player?
It's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
That's where it is
Can
now.
we kill it with fire?
You haven't even seen it. This is one of those ones I feel like I need to actually sit down and watch it with you. Not because I think it will improve the viewing experience, but I need to make sure you actually watch it because I can see you just like, look, I get the gist.
Yeah, you're probably right on this one.
Because you can get the gist of the first 5 minutes. It's like 90 minutes. So we'll see. It's either the Star Wars script or that awful movie that I've been...
Let's go internet Star Wars script.
I've been sitting on that for a while.
Oh, boy.
All right, we'll be back.
Stay classy, Space Cats.